Hello everybody. Been a fair few days, and something interesting has kind of happened with the wood. Now, see if I can find an example piece. Okay, right. So as we know, I've shown this knot before. That I've done a little bit of filling with, and you can see where I filled it because it's kind of like a lighter brown. It's difficult to explain what it looks like, but it has a particular appearance. Well, on the last video we went with the dollop approach of filling the holes, and the appearance is very different. Very different. It's a completely different colour to what I've been getting before. It definitely needs sanding down, but it's almost like it's got a different feel to it as well. Now, I have no idea what's going to happen to this when I start sanding it. I don't know if the whole thing is going to come out. I don't know if it's going to sand down beautifully. That's what I'm going to find out. So, I'm going to fast forward most of this, but for the first one, I'm not, because I'm interested to see. What it is going to come out like. And if I hadn't already mentioned it, I have managed to get myself a couple of cheap masks, which slightly different fit on them. But I don't know whether to start with a. No, I'm not going to start with a superfine. It's just digging into my face. It's got quite a strong metal nose bar. Right. Yeah, I'm not going to use the superfine. I'll try the fine on it, and then I'll know if I need to go a lot firmer or not. I don't mean firmer, I mean rougher. Okay, well, I was coping with that okay, so let's go with the no, I think the end result is going to look quite similar. Maybe it's just, I mean, that's on a very small piece, so it's hard to tell. It's got a slight. Oh, back in a sec. You tell I've not been with it lately. Completely forgot that I got this and I got this, which has also reminded me of something else. I got this because I went to B&Q, and I had to go to B&Q to get a number of items for maintaining the garden, but also my folks needed some stuff as well. So when was it I went? Monday I went to B&Q, and then news comes out on Tuesday that a B&Q store in Derby has been closed for cleaning because a member of staff tested positive for COVID-19. And yeah, it was the B&Q store that I was in on fucking Monday. So, been a bit of a weird week in that I've been trying not to think about it too much, but at the same time, it's very close to home on that one. I was in the storeroom where someone was confirmed with it, but they'd never said at any point when the person was tested, when they were last at work, or anything like that. But I am having to keep an eye on myself. Not only that, I did have to let the parents know that anything I took over to them needs disinfecting before they touch it, just in case. Okay, so the smaller nibs that I did, they went down quite easily. This one taking a bit more time. It's also very difficult to see. Exactly how much has gone down. Okay, we're looking at how much elbow work that's taking. I may need to give these a proper sanding using the power tool. It'd be easier, be a lot easier for me. Now initially, I mean at this point, I would say it's kind of worked. So there was a bit of filling, there was a bit of filling, and you'd never really know. There's been filling, but you can still tell that still needs sanding down a bit. This bit, obviously though, there's a lot there. So let's see how that comes off, shall we? Because this will definitely let me know whether it's going to need power tool intervention. it's definitely going to need power tooling connection. I mean, it's coming down, and it's coming down quite level. It's just taking a lot of elbow work, so what I will do is I will go down the route of power tools, but I'm not going to do that today because last time it ruined my back. I'm still struggling a bit from doing way too much at the weekend, and I've got a race this evening, so I don't want to completely cripple myself before that, so I'll probably wait until tomorrow. Also, well, yesterday was a very hot day. Today is a little bit cooler, but it's still a very hot day. So I'm going to have to be careful if I'm going to be spending some time in the sun with dehydration and stuff like that. And also, yeah, with other stuff going on, I just need to make sure I don't run myself down too much. So, not much of an update video on this one, but as you might be able to see, it's getting there. It's definitely filled the holes better. I think that it'll be a case of what its end appearance is going to be like. But it would appear that the dollop approach at this moment in time might not be a bad approach to use. Now something, I've got a couple of other projects that, well, not a couple of other projects, I've got one other project I'm contemplating making a start on, but only because it's small, which involves these two pieces of wood. Now, these two pieces of wood were part of a set of stairs that me and my dad put up. These were excess bits of wood, or at least it was one excess bit of wood, and I cut it in half because I was going to use each one for something, but I am now actually contemplating sticking them together. I just haven't fully decided, but this is potentially a carving project. Now, with it being a carving project, it's going to be worked on quite a bit by hand, and if I just glue them together, it might stick, but also it might come apart. So what I'm actually considering doing is basically do a couple of dowel holes, stick the dowels in, put dowel holes in here as well, and then glue all of that, glue the dowels as well, glue all the face, connect them together, clamp them together, and let them dry. And then when it comes to actually manhandling them, or person handling them, but I'm a man, so it's man handling them, I'll be able to do so hopefully without the fear of them falling apart, because even if the glue didn't work too well, the dowels are still there. But also the doweling process, I've used it for repairs on this lot, but on these it'd be for joining, and obviously that's what dowels are originally for, or mainly for. So I am at some point going to get into that, but I need to make sure I don't really need to make sure I position the holes correctly. What I need to do is, on one, wherever I position these holes, I need to get the dowels in there, and then I need some way of putting them together and marking where those dowel holes need to be drilled. Now, if it turned out that I ended up with it a little bit wonky, it wouldn't be the end of the world, because I could just cut off the bottom anyway and level it. But I'd rather not do that if I don't have to. But interestingly, looking at the piece of wood, I probably would have to check the positioning of them, because they do have, okay, so that way they're naturally pushing against each other. That way they're naturally just coming apart a bit. But anyway, I'll completely forget about that at some point. But for now, I'm going to chill the fuck out. So stay safe everybody, and I'll see you again soon.